Hey, what up? Peace and prosperity to the family. I'm putting together a master class right now for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? 4 questions to ask a man before you date him. That's most likely what it's gonna be called. But I'm working on putting it together now. Let me show y'all my process real quick. Flip this shit around. Y'all see this? You know what I'm saying? I'm putting this shit together right now. You feel me? So I'm just hashing it out on Google Docs. This is the process. And real quick, man, I was just thinking, real quick story as I do this and edit this. I used to, when I was living out in California, man, I moved out to California at like 18 and a half. And that was January 2013. That was January 2013. I moved out to California. I was 18 and a half. January 2013. And how I started to just go start exploring, and I didn't really have many connections or friends or whatever, but there's this one dude who I hung out with, and his name was Mitch. You know what I'm saying? And he was pretty much my only friend out there for a minute. And like my only friend, really, like. And he used to he had a car, he had a BMW and shit. And we used to just ride around and shit, you know what I'm saying? Smoke weed or whatever. Listen to underground rap music, you know what I'm saying? Like, just chill shit. And it was him who had exposed me to a lot of different things in Cali that I never would have seen because I didn't have a car. Um, I didn't have a car, you know. So it was him um, exposing me to a lot of shit, and driving around and stuff. And I realized like how big LA was, you know what I'm saying, because of him. And I saw like cool things, fancy houses, nice cars. And we would pass, we would be riding up and down like Wilshire Boulevard. And one time I remember seeing this, like I can go back to it. I'm sitting in this passenger seat, and we rolling past the Audi dealership on Wilshire Boulevard. I'm like, wow, there's an Audi dealership there. There's an Audi, and I'm becoming like aware of all these nice things in California. So I seen like this Audi dealership, and they, how they had the showroom on display, and they kind of had this elevated platform, and they had the R8 on there, the Audi R8, and I remember it clear as day. It was like this deep navy blue kind of color with like chrome and silver and carbon fiber, and all in the right places. You feel me? It's like a bad bitch where she got curves all in the right places. And I was like, wow, it was a drop. It was a drop Audi R8. You feel me? Convertible, the top was down. You feel me? And I could see myself like in that shit. And I was like, you know what? If I'm pulling up in that, I really don't have to say much. You know what I'm saying? If I'm driving a car like that, I can just be like, you know, I can express myself the way I want to express myself without having to talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably fun to drive and all this type of shit. So that's what gave me the inspiration. I was like, yo, I gotta test drive that. I gotta see. I never did test drive the Audi R8, but I test drove me a whole bunch of cars. Wraiths, Maseratis, Bentleys, Porsches, Jaguars, more Porsches, more Bentleys. You fucking name it. Benzes, all kinds of fucking shit. You feel me? Mercedes Benzes where the motherfucking seats hug your shoulders when you turn in the car. You know how when you turn in the corner and you lean against one side of the car and shit, when you turn in and shit. In the Benz, they got them shits that hug your shoulders. The seat basically wraps around your shoulders when you're going on those turns so that it hugs you. You feel me? So that you stay in the seat. Like, I'm driving cars like that at motherfucking 20, 21. You know what I'm saying? 21 years old and shit. So I had me, a little ball, But anyways, the reason why I'm telling the story is because I went from dealership to dealership, just test driving random cars. You feel me? Just exploring this shit, being curious, being bold, driving BMW M6s and convertibles and all this kind of shit, test driving this shit out because this is the shit I realized that I wanted. And many other, some of the sales dudes, I realized like that's where I got my training from. Like the people who were like, selling me the car and shit. When I say training, I mean like they knew I couldn't afford the fucking car, even though I was acting like I could. You feel me? I'm fucking black. My license says 20 years old, nigga. Whose son are you, nigga? You can't afford this motherfucking car. So they were just going along with it. You feel me? Like, okay, we'll take you out in the car. We'll test drive you. We'll give you a little joyride and shit like that. But a lot of them would drop knowledge on me, like like that really stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So like for one, I went to a BMW dealership one time, and we got into a conversation about success because we're at the point where I test drove the car already, and I'm still trying to act like I'm a buyer. You feel me? Because I want the car in my mind so bad, but I know in the back of my mind I can't afford the shit, but I want the car. So I'm like going through like the leasing process and all that paperwork, filling shit out, bullshit, right? And he was like, "You really want to do this? You really gonna buy this car?" I said, "Yeah, I'm really gonna buy this car." I was bullshitting. You feel me? But he said, we started to get into a conversation about success. And he said, could it be luck? Why people are successful? And I'm like, what you talking about, man? No, it's not luck. You feel me? It takes work. You feel me? It takes work to be successful and all that. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I think it takes luck, you know? And then he pulled out a piece of paper. He did this. What he did. This is what he did. He wrote down luck on a piece of paper. And then he did this. He said it takes luck to be successful. And then he did this. So things like that stuck with me. And, I actually added a Y to it. Because I'm always improving things. People say SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. I say smarter goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound, engaging, and rewarding. You know what I'm saying? So I always add shit to whatever whatever information I receive to carry it forward. And this is what I added to that. You know what I'm saying? So another dude, he told me I wanted to go test drive a Mercedes, and he wouldn't even let me test drive it. You feel me? But he was like, he wanted to see some paperwork before, he took me out of it. Well, basically, man, we sat down. This is a Mercedes dealership in Santa Monica and shit, and this dude was basically like, you pull up in one of them things, this is like one of them drop Mercedes higher end ones. You feel me? 6-figure car. He was basically saying like, you pull up in one of them things, then people are looking at you like, okay, this is what he can do for himself. I know he can do plenty for me because this is what he's done for himself. It's a nonverbal, it's a statement. You feel me? But I remember one thing he told me, and he said it with conviction. He said, whatever you're doing, don't burn out. Peace and prosperity to the family.